Ladies and gentlemen, the following video is about a pair of idiots that I've never intended to cover ever on my channel. Specifically, a Mr. Revelation News and a Mrs. Shanny For Christ. A pair of toxic idiot YouTubers, who at first glance are relatively uninteresting. They spend their time fighting and arguing with each other, or fighting and arguing with other YouTubers across the platform, ladies and gentlemen. Or fighting and arguing with the viewers that have come to watch them fighting and arguing with the world. Viewers who've come to watch their crazy antics, which range from eating, mukbangs, to gaming, to smoking copious amounts of cannabis. And of course, the yelling and the angry fighting.
I like the beats and shouting.
Well, you do.
As stated, very American, very uninteresting to me as a British man, ladies and gentlemen. The sort of people who will literally live off the state and do very little to improve themselves with the new American dream. As stated, not very interesting to me until they made the news. And then that's where my channel overlaps. YouTubers in the news, ladies and gentlemen. And then, of course, YouTube itself gets dragged into the press as well. YouTuber films her partner threatening to beat her son. Her accounts have since been terminated. Thank God for that. Or shall we say thank Christ for that. Although she still tries to claw onto the platform. She still tries to maintain a grip on her YouTube presence, creating new accounts on an almost daily basis, which are quite promptly shut down by YouTube. This is mainly because, after everything that's happened, there is of course a great deal of public scrutiny on these public figures at the moment. The people are watching, and they're breaking the rules of the platform. Of course they're going to be flagged for breaking the rules of the platform. A terminated YouTuber cannot reopen a new channel. The YouTube terms of service themselves literally say that in black and white, ladies and gentlemen. Realistically, I think the best way forward for this pair is to step away from the internet, get offline for a little bit, wait for the heat to die down, wait for people to move on to the next drama. Pop down the Winchester and have a pint of lager and wait for the whole thing to blow over. But, alas, no. Like all internet addicts, Shanny simply cannot step away from the web, ladies and gentlemen. So what of the incident that started this? What's the cause of the termination, ladies and gentlemen? Well, specifically, Shanny was filming an almost 2-hour-long live stream. She was in the couple's car, or a car, at the time. Rev was driving. After a heated conversation regarding a cat that was in the car, they were moving house. Rev pulled the car over out of concern for the safety of the cat. The cat was on the floor in the back of the car at this time. Rev then had an outburst of serious anger. An episode of anger. Shanny was sitting there yelling, shouting, swearing, screaming, which obviously did not contribute much to the man's mood at all. A very heated moment for the both of them. Following which he told Shanny's child to put the cat on his lap. Angrily. He proceeded to call the child an idiot. And then he threatened to beat the child's ass if the cat went on the floor again. Whilst I've recounted this in a rather factual manner, I will concede that the actual clip itself was quite difficult to watch, and I can understand that the internet in general is outraged at it. Of course, due to the nature of it being removed and deleted from YouTube and her channel being terminated because of it, I'm unable to show that clip here due to the nature of YouTube and the safety and preservation of my own channel. Shanny was actually quite shocked at Rev's outburst towards the child. She pleaded with him to stop behaving in this manner, To which in response he angrily yelled back at her, "You are not a mother." This then devolved into an argument. They argue about Rev's driving, they argue about respect and disrespecting each other.
Wait, you disrespect me?
Shanny then outbursts that his driving is quite dangerous, and quite angrily voices her concern that he could kill his entire family with the way that he's driving at that time. This livestream, this specific segment of livestream, evoked strong feelings in the YouTube community. They then proceeded to report this livestream to YouTube itself. So the livestream was initially removed from YouTube. However, that was only after news source Business Insider reached out to YouTube. YouTube had initially said on Twitter that the livestream did not brush up against any of its community guidelines or terms of service. But after Business Insider's contact, the livestream was removed under the platform's child safety policy. However, Shanny did appeal the removal of the stream. The video on demand was then reinstated. Business Insider once again reached out to YouTube via Twitter, and the video was again taken down. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I cover YouTube terms of service on my channel, I do have a few answers. I will note that I worded that carefully in my script. Answers, not excuses, for YouTube. Just reasons that YouTube seems to have dropped their pants and dropped the ball on this occasion. Reason number 1. Bot review. There was nothing especially violent on screen, ladies and gentlemen. If anything, just images of the car roof with swearing. Fake! Bot review would probably demonetize this, ladies and gentlemen. But it probably wouldn't pull the video down. Hell, if swearing was enough to get videos removed, I might as well delete my channel and go and write a diary instead. Reason number 2. My source on this one is a YouTuber by the name of Musical Antihero. A few years back, he'd gained access to leaked documents from YouTube. Specifically, the guidelines that human reviewers at YouTube use when it comes to policy and policy checking on videos that have been flagged to them. Musical Antihero revealed that a YouTube reviewer has virtually 20 seconds to watch a video, and then another 10 seconds in which to make a decision on whether it stays up or whether it comes down. "20 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, out of a 1 hour and 40-minute plus live stream. Now, ladies and gentlemen, whilst Rev and Shanny's content is generally considered to be very cringe, I will concede that the rest of the live stream was mostly fine. It was literally just that couple of minutes that was the main trouble area in it. The thing is, if the stream was reported incorrectly and the reviewer simply started watching it from the start, they wouldn't see much in their 20-second window, and then in their 10-second window, they'd say, "Nah, it's fine. Put the video back up." So I'm thinking that if it did go to a human review, the human reviewer obviously missed that part. That's my 2 reasons on why I believe the video could have been put back up onto the platform after being taken down. It's very possible that a human reviewer thought, "Oh, the bot got it wrong, lol. Let's put that one back up." Not realizing what was contained within the stream that they were putting back up onto the platform. So YouTube pulled the video. Child safety policy. A video containing the infliction of emotional distress onto minors. Content that could cause minor participants, or viewers for that matter, emotional distress, including coercing minors, get the cat on your lap but I'll beat your ass, or violence. We didn't actually see anything on screen, so that's open for conjecture. Well, Shanny being terminated is all fine and well, But what of Rev, Revelation News, Jason Avocados, whatever name he wants to go by these days? Under the YouTube Creator Responsibility Initiative, that man should have his channel terminated as well. Or at least penalised in some way.
True or false? A creator can get demonetized or suspended from YouTube even though their videos didn't break community guidelines. What do you think? If you said true, you're right. Not to sound all dad-like here, but you might say that with great popularity comes great responsibility. It becomes your responsibility, along with every YouTube creator, to help us keep the ecosystem healthy. Now, if the things you do and say as such a representative are really reckless, dangerous, inappropriate, on video or not, you can actually cause damage to YouTube and its millions of creators by hurting their reputation and revenue. Why? Because YouTube and advertisers don't want to be associated with that level of craziness. And when advertisers pull their spend, everybody loses.
I believe that that is something that needs to be addressed by YouTube itself. After all, he is the one who threatened to beat a child whilst being recorded, whilst being streamed to the platform. I also want to briefly touch upon a friend of theirs, ladies and gentlemen. A man who I believe is mentally ill. He appears to suffer from a form of ADHD when he's on camera. He's a streamer by the name of G-Man. Apparently he's Shanny's ex-boyfriend, but I wanted to briefly mention him because he seems to be grossly unaware of how the YouTube terms of service works, how the guidelines work, and how the general creator ecosphere works as a whole. He claims that people who watch Shanny's content are invading her privacy. Ladies and gentlemen, a person who is publicly streaming on YouTube needs to act to protect their own privacy. Shanny, Rev, lifestyle live vloggers, they have stripped their own privacy away from themselves by simply being on YouTube virtually all of the time, streaming for several hours a day. It's all fine and well me saying that, ladies and gentlemen, but if you need a YouTube term of service for it, I'm your boy. You see, as a YouTuber who uploads to the platform, a singular YouTuber grants certain rights and licenses not only to YouTube, but to every single other user of the platform. A figure that we've quoted here many a time, 3.2 billion active users a month. License to YouTube. By providing content to the service, you grant to YouTube a worldwide non-exclusive royalty-free transferable sub-licensable license to use that content, including to reproduce, distribute, modify, display, and perform it, for the purpose of operating, promoting and improving the service. License granted to others. You also grant each other user of the service a worldwide, non-exclusive, royalty-free license to access your content through the service, and to use that content, including to reproduce, distribute, modify, display, and perform it, e.g. reaction videos, anyone? Only as enabled by a feature of the service. Meaning, if we were to watch a Rev and Shanny stream right now and react to it under fair use, we would be perfectly allowed to do so under the YouTube terms of service.
Copyright law leaves room for commentary, criticism, parody, and other transformative uses. You can get in a lot of trouble for ignoring that.
This G-Man fellow really needs to have a look at how the platform operates before he goes inventing rules and laws that don't exist. Quite frankly, in short, if they are worried about their privacy, ladies and gentlemen, they should really be thinking about that before they go publishing their entire lives onto the internet. They should have thought about this before they tried to live the American dream and become famous as reality online YouTube stars.
Where my haters, I don't got 'em, I'm not famous, no.
before becoming implied public figures, before Rev thought it was acceptable to threaten a child on a livestream whilst being streamed on a platform with 3.2 billion active monthly users. Like so many before them, this is the story of internet addicts who quite simply will not step away from the internet, and quite frankly, overshare far too much of themselves into the online arena.
Best thing about my life is I'm not famous, no.
I do think that the best move for the both of them is to go offline.
Do not return.
Step away from the internet.
Raiden, turn the game console off right now.
However, around them has sprung up a community, ladies and gentlemen. A community that watches, re-watches and reviews everything that they do during their live streams. In my initial research for this video, I did find only a few well put together documentaries, but most of the other content regarding and criticising them was a lot of live stream content. Quite frankly, far too much to go through as the scope of research for this video. With new streams being constantly streamed by people on a daily basis, ladies and gentlemen. It's quite the vibrant community that's sprung up. If the pair is to go offline either voluntarily or forced by deplatforming, I sincerely hope that these people who stream their content can find something decent to move on to. I hope that these streamers can find a way forward for their work. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that has been a glance into a pair, and perhaps a very alarming and concerning thought is what happens behind closed doors when the cameras are off. I have other videos on my channel. Feel free to watch one of them. And I'll catch you next time. See ya.